Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for June 9, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. To enter the Zoom call, we'll scroll down and look for this Zoom banner. If you'd like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, the information's here. Her latest blog posts are here. We'll click through to the Zoom call. YouTube disclaimer, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. When I click through, please lower the volume on your speakers as it will be loud.
I want to point out, on the days we're not having the Zoom, there's a blog post with a screencast showing what we've done. It doesn't show all of it because you don't want to sit here all that long, but it shows you the heart of it and what we've been working on all along with that 1,600-page book, Owner's Manual of the Brain, which can really get your brain going crazy. We got to a point where we're trying to figure out what constitutes, because it's not the brain and it's not the mind, it's actually a cosmic intelligence that we're focused on here. And what happens, according to what you start reading, is that we have confused happiness and pleasure. If we could hold a real happiness, that would clear a lot of this stress related to our creation, because we create based on our emotions. But then you get down to what has confused us with the pleasure and the happiness, and you discover it's actually serotonin and dopamine. So I want you to make sure I want to make sure you know these codes were in the post, and for you to, if you get a chance, take a look. But this is something we'll want to do from time to time. We can go ahead real quickly right now. And I already did do some of the startup scan, but what you can do is put these in here like that, and then go ahead and do your find options, because we're ending up, we can get them in there 3 times now. That's not what I want to do. There. So we see we do want to send a code to the serotonin receptors. Okay, well, I put that in twice, and serotonin receptors came up twice, but look at that also, question fixed dogma. And you see that as you start learning that quite a bit of what we've been taught is wrong. It's absolutely incorrect. And maybe that's because we have, you see we do want the emotion code scan there too today. You see that it could be just that we have more knowledge now, or it could be some things have been kept from us, which I'm going to mention a little bit more in just a minute. And we're taking that all the way up to the 101, but there was a little stress there. Anyway, in this book, we have been a 91% priority to, as of next week, go into this Eat to Beat Disease information. This is an incredible book. I really recommend it. Anyone that has time. And this is an MD, and he's talking about the education the doctors have missed, which they're now trying to catch up on, the fact that you can heal anything, just about, if you eat the right food. And it's not bad food, what he's got in there. It's just normal stuff. And time will tell. But the other thing, in reference to maybe some of the dogma we have been taught needs to be re-examined. On the other side, the art of spiritual hygiene. You know, the spiritual hygiene is what we're doing every day with our clearing of our energy field. But I got to looking at candles. And because we actually are running as a software machine ourselves, very elevated, pretty sharp gadget. But it seems to me we can send the image of a candle, a burning candle, into our field, and get an interesting result. So what happened the other day, the group had a 97% benefit of having the image of a white candle and a blue candle run, and that is for the betterment of mankind. And you know, the philosophy, what can that hurt? So I thought it might be interesting. Let's just look and see if there's anything in here we would like. You know, I think one of the first statements in the Bible was let there be light. And okay, so there's a pink candle and a 0. So we want the image of a pink candle. I've gone ahead, maybe Kevin and I can connect. I went ahead and loaded these up, the images. And so there it is. And before I have the computer guys going to work with me tomorrow. We'll get this Word document thing settled, and you might want to look up, and I will look up meanwhile, what this color does. But you've got the light and you've got the color. And then also, as you saw, let me just get back in here. We have a startup scan that I got cleaned up a little, and we wanted an emotion code scan. That was one of the things about the emotions, is that they can literally bring on disease. And so it's interesting whenever we scan for that kind of work. And there you go right there. It's immunity. That's our top stress related to our emotions at this time. And when you really study the immunity, you realize that if you get that immunity going, you can just about heal anything. And he talks a lot about that in Eat to Beat Disease. And they're doing some amazing things now with cancer. Do y'all remember when Jimmy Carter, it looked like he basically had a death sentence because he had a brain tumor? Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And do you remember that he recovered?
Right. Still working.
Yep. And
still building houses.
What?
He's still building houses for Habitat for Humanity.
Yep. And what they did, which I did not know till I was reading this book, is what they did is there is new immune therapy, and they actually activated his own immune cells. I think it involved pulling some of them out and doing whatever they did. They explain it in the book. And they have a number of people, and we're talking people up in years, that have had all kinds of diagnosis related to cancer, that they've gone in and done these different immune therapies. And it's quite amazing. So I want to just, for example, first let's just check, do we want a full startup scan today? No. Well, let me show you one thing you can do, and I've been doing this and testing people. You want to test for priority, but there is, I don't know where I got it originally. Someone came across this, but you can go into the supercharger. Let's just test it for the group. And they actually, it's a very specific, maybe I should type it in. And I'll show you I'll show you the way, but let's see if they resonate. Let's just stay right now, activate stem cells. Just leave it that way and see if we want to do that.
It said stow.
What's that?
There's a typo. ST.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, okay. Thank you.
Where's the supercharger?
So let's just look at that. Okay, so it's a 61. That's on the line, but let me show you, if you test for yourself, what this would look like. What you would go into object, and you would do every cell in body and head of, and then put the name. Let's just put then hit your charge, and then load. Activate stem cells. And then according to what I ran, it said run it 24 hours a day for 7 days. And when you read and realize what they're doing with the stem cells, and especially as we age, there are several things that affect our stem cells. The production, obviously, our age, but beyond that, certain habits of daily living really decrease our stem cells. So I wanted you to see that, and we'll check it. I may even, let's just put, for example, priority.
I appreciate that.
It's pretty powerful when you have a person, in particular, maybe not for the whole group, but let's just see, priority for startups. And
I do have a person.
yes, good. Nope, we don't need it as a priority. Maybe more of an individual thing, but you got it now.
She has pancreatic cancer.
They have done amazing things with cancer. And this guy, who is an MD, does say that the doctors have been, very ignorant, basically, of the
I'm trying to turn it off.
of the nutrition, and they're coming around now, so it's very exciting. And then I haven't started yet, and Ron, you may be interested in this also, but when this does go out, this is the new startup scan. Where'd we go? Well, never mind. Oh, hold on a second. I'll find it. We've got the tinnitus cocktail, and a few people that have either stress related to hearing or tinnitus. We're doing an experiment, so there's the cocktail. So Ron, if you want to be in that group, just let me know. We're going to see what we can do. And you might want to combine this tinnitus cocktail with the stem cell supercharger. But this is quite a cocktail with the Shen and Gong. Now this is, and I've got her name in here because we're going to do her today for the intention group. But I'll put that in a blank for the future. But you can do, okay, now my word's freezing, so we'll come back to it. You can also take these statements and you can put them in the mediator. So write your court of atonement up, and then go ahead and put a pro and con. And again, just see what happens. So with all this loaded up, and I think, good news. Monday, I will be here, by the way, Monday. I don't have to take my friend to the doctor after all. But I had called to see if Grandmaster could be on Monday. And Grandmaster cannot, but he's got a new person promoted to Mastery, and he's going to be our guest on Monday. So any questions you have, start making a list. And I think I want a special focus on the QiGong panel.
That's cool.
I'm looking forward. Okay, so we want to preserve options. So interestingly enough, we actually want to preserve that candle. That's not what I meant to do. As you can see, I'm having a heck of a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Grandmaster David is going to be on?
No, another person that he's just promoted to Mastery.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So he'll have some interesting things to share. I do want to talk with him on the phone, and haven't gotten to do that yet. But if you have any questions ahead of time, please send them to me, and I'll send them to him. The focus, the focus is the QiGong panel, or at least, all right, see, this is where we are with this this word thing. But you can see, okay, so we've got our work going. This is all settled. By the way, we did ask today for family members and also all ancestral lines today. And we are asking, we're starting out with degeneration. This is obviously etheric. Let's just put stress. That's significant, so let's go in here. QiGong, and I think, yeah, nope. Let's just, since that was our top. So what we're really interested in is regeneration. Now here we've got pericardium, which comes up all the time, and it's related to relationships, they say. Let's see if we have a cocktail for that. Now we sure take it today, so let's go in here and stop. Let's go in here and do it again and break it down. See if I can get some of this in here, this old notes. So if you don't want to fool with an Excel spreadsheet, you can just simply paste this. All right, so again, there's the emotional. So something is going on, and we can see that the stress related to emotions for the group today.
Can you make it bigger, Cathy?
I can't make this particular one bigger. I don't think. Let me try. Hold on. Maybe I can. Let me douse this in. You see, that's a chronic, that 98. So, maybe I think because of the trouble I'm having with my Word document, because I've already got it larger, I don't think I'm going to be able to move it up. And in fact, it's frozen again on me, as you can see. I'm looking forward to my computer guy tomorrow. So actually, we're wanting to do all soul imaging today. So again, whatever's going on as a collective, it's involving our emotions. So
How do you add the repeating part again to the
yeah, that's an interesting, when you go in and you hit whatever you hit, and you go over here and click your right mouse, and it'll say full client check.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this is one, when you come up with the Pro Tools request for soul imaging, you can go back and forth with this during the day, and it's a lot of positive work.
Cathy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when you're pressing that little box, I had one last week that I started working with the lady with the cancer stuff, and you know what? It requested to have 69 P4s.
Yep, I've seen that too, and I don't know.
69.
Oh yeah, yeah.
69 of them.
Well, you know, I know that you could. What I do sometimes, I just put the number in. So I'll put like P4 times 69. But I know, and sometimes it's not just that low. You can have hundreds of these requested.
Oh wow!
So
should I have done 69 of those?
No, I don't know that you could have. I don't know that you would have the time. But what you could do, for example, Okay, let me just show
Because
you.
the first one that even came up was like 22 hours.
So what you could do, for example, here we have a protected from emotional trauma, and we see that's a chronic. We've taken the code, but that's a chronic stress. So let's see if we were to put it in 3 times instead of putting it in over and over 3 times. Let's just put 3 times. Okay, so right there takes us up to the 102, and this is kind of in keeping with the Tesla philosophy of the 369. Okay, so our first emotion that we are balancing out is fondness, and so let's just let that go. But you can go back and forth with this all day. Now let me see if this is calmed down. Okay, how's that? Is that okay, Ron?
No, that doesn't. The thing that I'm talking about is when you go into when I went in this on the scheduler, and it asked for the P4 to do the P4, and it said to do it 69 times.
Right. Well, what I'm thinking.
You know what?
Yeah.
When I hit only one, the one and only one I did to start with was already 20 some hours.
Well, here's just a suggestion.
69 times?
Well, here's a suggestion. Hold on, let me douse this in. And you say it's pancreatic cancer?
Yeah, yes.
All right, try this. I'm just theorizing. 60, pretend this is her P4. 69 times P4 session pancreatic cancer. Just try it and just experiment, because it's likely. Okay, you gotta, that's it. And then just douse it in like that. I'm not going to do that here, but just douse it in like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I know Kevin said Ray Foley was known to sit,
instead of using the P4 then, right?
That's what I would suggest. And at least it's not going to hurt anything, and you can experiment with it.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, because there was no way I'm going to put
no
69 windows up there.
No. And I've had times where it comes up and wants like 900 or something. So, you know, you're not going to end up doing that. I've even tried, to book it out like I'm doing 3 a day for this amount. You can't keep up with it. But you do see here, even though I think all we asked for was the soul imaging. But as you see here, we're very focused on emotions today, but we've got other things going on. But we're clear so far. Now there's curse correction, and again, you get to where you believe with this type of thing being cursed that it's an ancestral thing. And we did ask, you notice today, to clear ancestral lines. So what do we pick up at the moment of conception? Is it diabetes? And by the way, talking about our stem cells, stem cells really are the whole deal. Stem cells are what completely form the embryo and fetus, and then as, of course, we get into older years, the numbers diminish. But one of the things that just absolutely destroys the remaining stem cells we have left is diabetes. So that would be one thing they say we can pick up from an ancestral line that we might want to be more aware of.
What were you saying, Ray Foley was known to what?
Oh, yes, to sit for days putting everything in all those times. And then he was the one down the road, I think, that said just put it times, he or Kevin, one or the other, just put it in, with the number, type in the number, put the little X and do it that way.
An alternate you might use is to switch over to manual controls and do the scan, and then arrange it so you have 24-hour coverage on number like 69. Okay, you have 69 repeats of however many.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's a way of fulfilling it, sure.
Okay, thank you. I'll try to demonstrate that the next time. I don't want to mess us up here.
Right.
Maybe I'll put a real good prosperity cocktail in or something, and we'll do it. Then we can figure it out. Now look here again, you see the gallbladder meridians. A lot of times that's an indication of an implant. Let's just see if we want the implant command. Nope, we're good. Yeah, this, I don't forget. Now there's a little spiritual attack. Want to clear that. The awareness that we have of that, they say, clears about 80% of it. Anyway, so we get down now here. I'm going to start with just a couple levels, but you're going to see as this goes and goes, which is why sometimes you end up seeing it go for days, you can add additional themes. So we've got some stress related to the torso. That could very much tie in with the emotional stress. Let's see if we want the torso cocktail. Close, but let the peak work do its work. Blood obstruction, circulation, nervous system. We like to balance the nervous system. Give it a charger. And that's been a big one for us too. How about by yes therapy? Okay, no, B4 is going to do it. Stress related to the hypothalamus, that ties in many ways too to the emotions. So this is for the group an emotional day. Words to ponder. Why is it that whenever you attempt to catch something that's falling off the table, you always manage to knock something else over? Interesting thought. Misunderstood. Water attunement. Foaming at the mouth. Oh my goodness. And then this amino acids continues to come up, and I think we talked about this before in reference to the DNA. Amino acids are the coding that gives the information to the DNA. So let's just see. And in reference, by the way, to that, since we mentioned DNA, this could be how the Court of Atonement is working so powerfully, because our emotions, our words, our thoughts actually can change the DNA. Yep. Very interesting. They can validate this scientifically. So, and we just got a couple minutes left. Let's see, even though we didn't request the dispenser, let's see at this point if we would like it. Nope, under control. Got it under control. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next Monday. And remember, we will have our guest, which should be very beneficial. So have a wonderful Friday and weekend.
Okay.
Thanks, Cathy. You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.